Dr. Dave here to show you everything you need to know to control the cue ball effectively. Cue ball control is a critically important skill to be a good pool player. All demonstrations in this video are excellent drills and workouts to practice your cue ball control, so be sure to get to work after watching. With a straight shot, all you can do is stop the cue ball with stun or no spin, follow forward with topspin, or draw back with backspin. If you cheat the pocket by targeting the pocket off-center, you can move the cue ball in different directions. And by adding sidespin, you can position the cue ball to pretty much any spot on the table. With a stun shot, where the cue ball has no top or backspin when it arrives at the object ball, the cue ball heads in the tangent line direction, perpendicular to the object ball direction. This is called the 90-degree rule. An easy way to visualize the tangent line at the table is to use your cue. If you orient the cue in a direction necessary to push the object ball into the pocket, it will point in the tangent line direction. Did you see the tangent line motion of the cue ball? Notice that with a stun shot, especially at soft speed, the cue ball throws the object ball offline some. This is called cut-induced throw, or CIT. Shot speed has no effect on tangent line direction, assuming the cue ball has stun at the object ball. At slow speed, you must hit low on the cue ball. The backspin wears off on the way to the object ball, resulting in a stun shot. With more speed, you don't need to hit the cue ball as low, especially if the cue ball is close to the object ball. At fast speed, a near center ball hit creates stun. Again, the cue ball heads down the tangent line with a stun shot at any speed. If the cue ball has topspin when it reaches the object ball, it starts down the tangent line, but the topspin curves the cue ball forward. And if the cue ball has bottom spin when it reaches the object ball, it also starts down the tangent line, but curves back. A stun shot sends the cue ball down the tangent line regardless of the cut angle of the shot. With a small angle, the cue ball doesn't travel very far down the line. As the angle increases, the object ball acquires less speed and the cue ball retains more, but the cue ball still moves along the tangent line. Even with no cut angle, the cue ball still stays on the tangent line. It just doesn't move since all of its speed is transferred to the object ball. As we saw before, a straight shot with topspin follows forward. And with a thin cut, topspin has very little effect and the cue ball does not change direction very much. But over a wide range of cut shots in between, a rolling cue ball deflects by a fairly consistent angle called the natural angle. This angle is very close to 30 degrees and can be easily visualized with a firm but relaxed peace sign. Here's how you use the 30-degree rule peace sign at the table. You point your first finger through the center of the cue ball in the direction of travel, with the middle knuckle adjacent to the center of the object ball. Your other finger will point in the direction of final cue ball travel. Here's the same process applied to a shot at a different angle. Now let's look at how speed affects the cue ball direction predicted by the 30-degree rule. At very slow speed, the cue ball deflects more than the natural angle because there is more friction between the balls at slower speed, causing more of the topspin to be lost. At faster speeds, the cue ball retains more topspin and follows more forward. However, as you increase the speed more, the cue ball persists longer along the tangent line before curving forward. Did you see the forward curve get delayed? You can visualize the delay by shifting your peace sign down the tangent line depending on conditions and based on how much speed you plan to use. Earlier, we saw that the cue ball follow angle is the smallest at slower speed, but not too slow. You can actually narrow the angle even more by hitting the ball a little fuller with pocket cheat and by adding inside spin. The inside helps reduce the friction and topspin loss at impact. It also helps swerve the cue ball into the object ball slightly, straightening the cut angle a little. The 30-degree rule peace sign applies over a wide range of shots between a 3/4 ball hit, shown here, and a 1/4 ball hit, shown here. The center of the range is a center-to-edge half ball hit, shown here. In the video description, I have a link to an angle template you can print and use to help calibrate your 30-degree peace sign. The 30-degree angle is a good average value to use over the entire quarter ball to three-quarter ball hit range. However, if you want to be more accurate, when the shot is fairly full, close to a three-quarter ball hit, or fairly thin, close to a quarter ball hit, you need to shrink your peace sign a little. And when the shot is close to the center of the range at a half ball hit, you need to stretch your peace sign. Here's a fairly full hit, so I shrink the peace sign a little to more accurately predict the final cue ball direction. A shot close to a half ball hit is easy to recognize because your line of aim will be close to the edge of the object ball. Here, I need to stretch my peace sign. Here's a fairly thin hit where I again need to shrink the peace sign slightly. The 90-degree rule predicts cue ball direction for a stun shot, and the 30-degree rule works for a rolling cue ball shot. Now let's look at backspin draw shots. We know that for a straight shot with backspin, the cue ball draws straight back. And with a thin hit, backspin has very little effect, and the cue ball stays close to the tangent line. For all shots between cut angles of 0 and 40 degrees, which is a fairly wide range, the total angle the cue ball draws back with a good action draw shot is 3 times the cut angle. To use this system, you first need to be able to hit good action draw consistently. Here is how it is defined. For a half ball hit center to edge shot, good action draw causes the cue ball to come back at a right angle, or 90 degrees relative to its original direction. The reason for this is that a half ball hit is a 30-degree cut angle, and 3 times 30 is 90. You can use your cue to visualize the 3 angles at the table. First, place the tip at the ghost ball position and point your cue at the pocket. Then visualize the cut angle of the shot by imagining a line through the center of the cue ball. Focus on visualizing the angle as a piece of pie. Now duplicate that pie angle on the other side, and then duplicate it once more for a total of 3. You can also measure the angles with your hand like this, moving the angle distance along an arc with the center of the arc at the ghost ball. The final line will show you the direction a good action draw shot will head. When using the 3 times the angle system, you need to be careful to account for any pocket cheat. If I hit the shot a little full, 3 times the angle comes up much shorter. And if I hit the shot a little thin, the predicted draw direction goes much longer. When practicing good action draw, tighten the pocket with sentinel balls to prevent pocket cheating. If you don't have enough bottom spin, the cue ball will not draw very much. Here's a little more draw, but still not good action. Here is good action draw. Did you notice the cue ball make the 90-degree turn? You can actually do better than good action draw, and this is a fun challenge to practice. This is the best I was able to do after several attempts. Make sure you spend time practicing good action draw. Then you will be able to effectively use the 3 times the angle system to predict draw direction. If you need help with draw shot technique, see the resource page linked in the video description. Remember, the 3 times the angle system works for all cut shots between 0 and about 40 degrees. Here's another example with a much smaller cut angle than before. Again, you just copy the cut angle twice to find the good action draw direction. Speed has a big effect on draw shots. If you hit the shot too soft, even with an extremely low tip position, the backspin will wear off on the way to the object ball. There was no draw at all on that shot. It was actually a stun shot down the tangent line. Did you notice how much the object ball got thrown offline? Throw is maximum for a slow speed stun shot. At fast speed, backspin is retained, but the cue ball shifts down the tangent line more with more speed. The final draw angle is the same, but it is shifted. Did you see how much this fast speed shot got shifted down the tangent line? To master stun, follow, and draw shot control, it is important to understand how spin changes with tip position, shot speed, shot distance, and cloth conditions. With enough topspin, even at fast speed, the cue ball is rolling the entire way to the object ball. If you hit the cue ball close to the center, it will start off with stun, but it will gradually pick up rolling topspin as the cue ball slides across the cloth. At slow speed or large distance, the cue ball picks up full forward roll before reaching the object ball. To hit a stop shot at distance, you must hit the cue ball below center. The backspin wears off on the way to the object ball. Even with a very low tip position, if you hit the shot too slowly, the backspin will wear off and the cue ball will develop full roll, resulting in a follow shot. The only way to get draw is to hit the cue ball low with enough speed to retain backspin on the way to the object ball. When the cue ball is closer, you don't need to use as much speed to retain backspin and get draw. At closer range, it is also easier to get stun with a near center ball hit. Although, you will usually have better stop or stun shot control by using a lower tip and softer speed. For a soft speed follow shot, you don't need to hit the cue ball so high to get full rolling topspin at the object ball. The topspin develops naturally due to rubbing on the cloth. Although, to get a large follow distance, you need more speed, and if the cue ball is close to the object ball, you must hit the cue ball high enough to create rolling topspin right off the tip. Here's a good drill to practice principles and systems covered in this video. It is called a fixed cue ball position, half ball hit, wagon wheel drill. The goal is to pocket the object ball on the side and send the cue ball to each of the target balls along the rails. Handouts for this and many other cue ball control drills are available via the link in the video description. The natural angle goes just wide of the two, so I cheat the pocket a little, hitting the cue ball a little full, and use inside spin to narrow the angle even more. I cheated the pocket more than I needed to get a hit on the 2, but it is fun to see how much you can push the cue ball forward. I can get a hit on the 3 going rail first along the natural angle. To hit the 4, I can use more speed to shift the natural angle down the tangent line. Or I can drop my tip position to give the cue ball only about half of rolling topspin to send the cue ball between the tangent line and natural angle directions. A stun shot heads right next to the 5. One option to get a solid hit is to just cheat the pocket a little to change the tangent line direction. Another option is to target the pocket center and give the cue ball a touch of topspin to send it slightly forward of the tangent line. I need draw to hit the remaining balls. It helps to know where a good action draw shot will head. The 6 ball is about 40% of the way between stun and good action draw, so I just need to aim my tip contact point about 40% down from the stun shot position to the good action draw position. Good action draw works well for the 7. Remember, shot speed will shift the angle down the tangent line a little. Did you see the shift down the tangent line? For the 8, I can cheat the pocket and/or use a little better than good action draw. To hit the 9, the only option is to cheat the pocket and use better than good action draw. This is a real tester if you are not good at draw shots. As I mentioned before, all demonstrations in this video are excellent drills to work on your cue ball control, so be sure to practice everything. Also, the instructional videos and resources linked in the video description provide countless examples of game situation shots where all principles and skills in this video are applied effectively. Be sure to study and practice all of these also. Good luck with your game from Dr. Dave.